and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Headlines spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my God! Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well this morning. Man, oh man, oh man, what a day. Ah, yes, it's on fire. Yes, good morning, Jam, Roxanne, Debbie, everybody, Cynthia, Denise, love Manitoba, 4 seasons of beauty. Good to see all of you fine folks. Toy, good morning. How are you? Man, oh man, I haven't seen Toy in a while. It's been so quiet over here, and I've missed you oh so much. Usually they're just very much more busy than I am. Yes. Yes. And yes, we've got a wonderful, wonderful time for you this morning. It is so close to Christmas. Like we're just like edging up on that really quick. Before you know it, it's going to be here. And it's going to get crazy. Telling you. What a day. What a day it is. I think I've got something here that, and it'll just be a, it'll be a short one. I figured it out yesterday, and and I'm still working on getting the whole thing done. I decided to add some parts to it to make it much better. Just a second. Ooh, my throat. Ooh. Yes, there we go. That's much better. What the hell happened? Weird. Everything's acted funky on me this morning. It's gone to hell in a handbasket. Absolute hell in a handbasket. Man, oh man. What do we got? Poodle howdy. So I've been working on getting this song perfected. It's gonna be have a little bit of this in there. Oh yeah. So that right there, I'm working on getting that all fixed up. It is definitely very good. Morning, everyone. You're snowed in and Wi-Fi is being a twit. If it's being a twit, sometimes the best thing to do is just restart the whole thing. That's what really sucks, especially if you lost power. Sometimes it acts really funky. Mine did that the other night. Just went absolutely wild. Nothing I could do it. Nothing I could do about it. Interesting. No, I'm not going to talk about that. There's certain things that YouTube doesn't want me talking about, and that so I have to avoid those. I really have to avoid a lot of those. But the first thing that we have, the first thing that we have this morning is this one right here. Oh man. What was so different about this time about Trump's election? Well, as we talked about the other day, it is one of those that he became president. People were not expecting that. there was a lot that were hoping for it, but a lot of people were not expecting that it would happen. They figured it was going to be one of those long drawn out fights. The left was preparing for it. I'm sure that they were getting all their attorneys together to make sure that there is nothing that Trump could do to possibly get into power. That's why it hurt so much. In the weeks before the 16 election, Donald Trump was polling between 35 and 40. He would average only about 41% approval over his tumultuous 4-year tenure. No one knows what lies ahead for the next 4 years, but for now, Trump already polls well over 50% with approval. His inauguration is a few weeks away and still will likely resemble his 2016 ceremony. During the 2016-17 transition, Democrat-affiliated interests ran commercials urging electors to become faithless and thus illegally to reject their state's popular votes, instead elect Hillary Clinton. Massive demonstrations met Trump on Inauguration Day. Yes, that did happen. In less than 4 months after assuming the presidency, Special Counsel Robert Mueller was appointed to investigate the Russian hoax. That wasted 22 months. 40 million investigation found no collusion, but it did derail the first 2 years. What followed was a collusion ruse that was a consistent effort to undermine his presidency. 2 subsequent impeachments, a laptop disinformation hoax, the COVID-19 nationwide lockdown, the news suppression, any mention of a Chinese lab would close when it closed schools. And Trump's administration last summer, 2020, 120 days of riot, arson, looting, assault, and with a denouncement of the January 6th turmoil. In contrast, the 2024 Trump transition has all but assumed the presidency. Over 100 foreign leaders have elbowed each other to be invited to Mar-a-Lago or to phone in their congratulations to the newly elected Trump. Remember that in 2016, the left screamed Logan Act if Trump transition appointee even talked with foreign officials. So why is the newly elected Trump such a cultural hero in 2024 in a fashion unimaginable 8 years ago when the media had rendered him near a demon? Well, as near a demon as they possibly could. One, Trump is seen now as a welcome relief. A departing unpopular President Joe Biden leaves with about 36% approval rating. The prior Biden years are now seen as abnormal. The left's cultural revolution championed fringe policies never quite seen before, destroying the border, welcoming in 12 million illegals, nihilist critical race and legal theories, institutionalizing a third sex, and mandating woke DEI quotas and indoctrination sessions. Yet Biden has inherited from Trump a secure border economy rebounding after the quarantines, 1.23 inflation, no wars abroad, and cheap energy. 4 years later, the outgoing Biden administration is widely unpopular. Almost every one of his policies poll below 50%. In reaction, Trump promises not just to restore his first-term success, but to expand it. Trump personally remains transparent and energetic, eager to talk and meet anyone, anytime, and just about anywhere. His energy offers sharp contrast with the non-compos mentis Biden. The change is welcome by an electorate exhausted by the past 4 years of president stumbling, wandering, incoherent, mind freezes, and angry get off my grass aged fragility. 3. Trump is grudgingly admired now, even by some of his enemies who once sought but failed to destroy him. He endured 2 impeachments, 5 civil and criminal court indictments, inconsistent lawfare, 95% negative media coverage, attempts to remove him from states' ballots, and 2 assassination attempts. Yet all these unprecedented hostile efforts to end Trump may have only made him stronger and more empathetic when seen as a target of increasingly fanatical enemies. 4. Trump has expanded his base and permanently branded it as an movement that welcomes shared class interests rather than the tired old tribal, racial, and ethical chauvinism. Trump has also brought in disaffected Democrats, independents, minorities in a way that Democrats could not with the evaporating never Trump dead enders. Trump's veritable campaign menagerie of RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Dana White, Kid Rock made it impossible for the left to demonize the MAGA Republicans as right-wing aristocrats or laissez-faire capitalists. 5th, the endorsements of the Biden-Harris legacy media calcified. Hollywood endorsers, blowhard university faculties, and tech barons proved vastly overrated. It was trumped by more popular and dynamic internet influencers, podcasters, bloggers, blowhards, I should say, and maverick entrepreneurs. 6th, and finally, Trump himself proved more experienced and more measured and reflective than in 2016. His team, too, was more disciplined and street smart, led by the savvy chief of staff, Susan Wiles. Past year has seen truly pivotal moments in Trump, as in every man posing for a mugshot after being railroaded by a weaponized lawfare indictment, serving McDonald's drive-up customers, riding in a garbage truck cab, raising his fist and yelling, "Fight, fight, fight," and after nearly having his head blown off by a would-be assassin. Add all of these once unimaginables up, and the people trusted more and liked better the Trump reboot than the grouchy Biden or inane and inauthentic Vice President Camel Toe Harris, as well as their shared extremist ideas. So if the left is wondering why exactly Trump is doing so well in the polls or whatever part you want to look at, you need look no further than that. You need look no further than that. Because on the other side of that aspect, you've got this: the curious merger of feminism and fat activism, which is at times activists walk a fine line between championing feminism, body positivity as a social justice twofer. Other times, the distinction between the two causes it to be utterly blurred, as in the case of a self-proclaimed award-winning fat activist and professional feminist killjoy Vilgari Tovar, recently hired as San Francisco's weight equity czar, and her now viral tirade about being fat-shamed as a woman who loves cake perhaps more than life itself, as we're going to see her tirade.
Hi, I'm award-winning fat activist and professional feminist killjoy Virgie Tovar, and I'm here today to talk to you about an epidemic that's affecting women everywhere. It's called CRFI. If you're like many women, you've been to a birthday party or a small office gathering, an event that's meant to bring people together. There's swinging tunes, some adult beverages, and good convo. And then it comes time to cut the cake, and someone decides to ruin everything.
Is she stupid? I think she is. I guess this must be like some sort of personal experience of her own, because whatever she's about to go into, you're going to go make an apple dump cake just for you. Well, go for it. I mean, that is entirely up to you. I mean, here's the thing. I had a very close friend, rest his soul, that was severely overweight. He was down, I think, I think whenever he passed, he was at about 600 or 700 pounds. And that was after he dropped about 500 or 600 pounds. Yeah, this guy was a big boy. 6'8", over, over 500 pounds at one point in time. And he told me his eating schedule was basically he lived to eat. That's what it was. Before he would show up to my brother-in-law's place to because they'd invite him over for dinner, he would stop and have like a full meal, enough to feed the entire family, just so he didn't look like he was pigging out whenever he would show up, because that's how bad of an addiction to food he had. He could not control himself. It was an ongoing hunger that just wouldn't stop. So whenever people are telling you, "Oh, you shouldn't fat shame," it's not that you're fat shaming. You do feel sympathy for people that do have issues with weight, as it can be addictive, and seek some help, really, like, because it's a more of a mental thing. But he had done so much damage to his body over the years that his poor heart gave out. Unfortunate for him. I mean, this is something that you run into. One of the reasons why I'm dieting myself, try to lose some of those extra pounds so I could be around to spend more time with my lovely wife.
Oh my God, that slice is huge. That slice is bigger than Beyonce's paycheck. Can you
Yeah, I mean, if this is happening,
cut me half of that?
A cake-related fat-phobic incident, or CRFI, is that moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a moralizing impulse.
honestly, not fat. Diabetic, several small meals, but sometimes have to have sweet. Yep, absolutely. I live to eat as well. If you don't eat, you die, but you need to eat smartly. Absolutely. No, I mean, let's put it this way. He would stop at Burger King. Okay. Here's an example. He'd stop at Burger King, order 5 Whoppers, 5 large orders of fries, 5 what are the Apple Pockets or whatever they were, and a large Diet Coke. And he said that was what he would have in between breakfast and lunch. Now, let me repeat: 5 Whoppers, 5 large orders of fries, 5 apple pies or whatever those little pockets were, and a large Diet Coke. That right there is a problem. And he would order it in the drive-through, pull over in a spot, and he would finish that in minutes. I mean, he felt so bad about that problem, but he knew it was a problem, and he recognized that it was an issue. I mean, like I said, this guy was a big old boy. Yeah. Eat to live, not live to eat.
Inevitably, there's always someone at the party who has to declare publicly that their slice is too large and that the person
I would. I mean, I'm not a big cake eater anyway. I mean, if it's something that I like, I'll have, but I usually like get a little bit of everything. Like if there's a bunch of different sweets and cakes and stuff like that, it's like I just want to try a small little bit of everything, just to get a taste of it. Usually I'll get something like that and split it with my wife. We just, so it ends up being maybe about a piece that we'll split, piece of cake, but it's just a bunch of smaller bites of something else. It's pretty cool. One way of keeping it down. Yeah, your body felt for 4 crystals. Oh, and a drink. But that was lunch and dinner, applesauce the night before. Yeah. We would go to full fruit platter before cake. Yes, I am different. Yeah, the full fruit platter. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, to each their own, like I said. But listening to this lady making it sound like there should be some issue with eating cake, she's got some issues.
who's cutting the cake, almost invariably a woman, must do some disproportionate amount of labor in order to accommodate their need to feel superior. Let's take a look.
Can you do a little bit, just like, can you like scrape all the frosting off and cut it in half and give me 2 forks because I'm sharing? Small, like a little bit more, like tiny, no, like less than what you're smaller, please.
Could you just cut my piece into 12 equal symmetrical little pieces and put each
Here's a better thing. Take whatever you're given, eat what only you want to have, and stop worrying about it. It's called eating in moderation. Yeah, absolutely.
one into a tiny little Tupperware so that I can have a bite for each month of 2018? Thanks.
Smaller.
Let's take a step back and view what's happening through a critical feminist lens. CRFIs typically happen in environments where there are primarily or exclusively women. Women are disproportionately negatively affected by diet culture because diet culture maps onto sexism. Like many parts of
Diet culture attaches to sexism. I don't think that's true. No, I would say that pretty much goes across the board.
diet culture, there is a significant performance component. You have
Well, a lot of it might also be that women like to shame other women, like a lot, like constantly. They are very judgy. Yeah, it's yeah, that's my Biden plan. You can work, you can eat, but you can't do both. There you go. Good morning, Marlon Lindstead. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Shizzy Moz in chat. All have a happy Friday. Yes, please have a very happy Friday.
to show others that you are being good. Controlling how much you eat is part of what it means to be a, quote, good woman. This kind of behavior is a way for people to keep other people in check through food moralizing, surveillance, and policing. These are the mechanisms that are at the core of diet culture and weight control. The idea that you can position yourself as superior.
It sounds like she's reading this off of some script. That's what it sounds like, because she's just got this ongoing blab that just it's just like, oh man, I don't understand what you're saying. Oh.
To others through self-control and self-denial is super sexist. CRFIs have a history of creating a hierarchy among women and ultimately in maintaining misogynist expectations. Watch how this woman demonstrates a different way to engage with cake. Thank you. No.
I can just picture it right now. She just shovels it into a trough and just goes at it like a hog. That's how she. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say stuff like that.
Thank you. Practice just taking the cake slice you're given, or simply saying no thanks. Don't make other people be your cake nanny, because women already have too much on their plate. With a sexist culture navigating.
Well, she's right. Just take whatever the hell you're given and move on. A lot of times they just don't want to have any leftover cake. And then take a couple bites if you like it. And if you don't, then set it aside. But geez, you don't have to, go step up to the trough. You don't have to even take any if you don't want any.
Underwhelming romantic options and an absurdly inexplicable pay gap.
So tell me, how does a pay gap? By the way, there is no pay gap. Just so you know, there is no pay gap. Why? Because it's illegal. It's illegal to have not pay somebody the same amount as somebody else doing the same thing. If you're intentionally saying, well, I want to pay you less because you're a woman, then, well, they can't do that. Just saying that right there would get you in so much trouble. Hey, how's it going, Spliffy? How's it going? Good morning.
Remember, the next time that you're on the verge of committing a CRFI, be an ally to women rather than an accomplice to patriarchy. Because, after all, Patriarchy doesn't give a fuck about you, girl.
It's so rich.
It's so rich.
It's so rich.
so
So
stupid.
rich.
If you spend any time in this information space, you've likely seen the intersectionality of fat activism and the feminism beaten to death in the progressive media. But in case you haven't, here's a primer from the cankerous social justice rag that is called the Huffington Post. The Huff Post emphasis added, I want to explore how my identity as a woman informs my identity as a person of size. Because they do not exist in same separate microcosms. They very much interact and inform one another. If you've never taken a feminist theory course or have no idea who Bell Hooks is, you might not know anything about intersectionality, but it's very important that you know what the concept is before I get deeper into these identity politics. Buy my book. Intersectionality is a study of the intersections between forms of system of oppression, domination, or discrimination. It examines how different marginalized identities interact and connect with each other. Since I'm both a person of size and a woman, it means I occupy two oppressed identities simultaneously. This is intersectionality. Being a fat woman, as I'm subject to most body policing, shaming, and discrimination out of all the body sizes women have. Yes, women are body policed and shamed as a whole because of sexism. Many women who occupy all different sizes have been told the skirt they're wearing is too short, or that they're asking for it because they chose to wear a crop top or a tight dress. Okay, I'm confused. Sexism plays an important role here because women's body are treated as public property by society. They're marginalized and controlled. But fat people also experience this. Our bodies are treated as if they're public property as well. Fat people also face shaming and discrimination because of their bodies. Since fat women are marginalized by both womanhood and their fatness, their experiences of these forms of oppression differ from those who are thin or fat women. Men. Don't know. The question, however, that I have never personally explored in any column is exactly why body positivity has been married to feminism, perhaps to a greater extent than any other two alleged oppressed identity classes. I've thought about it, and there appear to be multiple factors that play driving this unholy matrimony. Here, I'd like to propose a non exhaustive list. First, women are involuntarily more predisposed to feelings of shame and other negative emotions regarding social faux pas. My best guess, which I would assume is backed up by research, is that women are more dependent on social groups for support and survival, and therefore more apt to follow established social norms, feel negative emotions when they run afoul of them. Second, society, including all societies throughout history, places a higher premium on female physical attractiveness than male physical attractiveness. This is one of the claims that feminism is correct about, although it's universally across time and space would suggest it's natural and not artificial cultural invention of the patriarchy to oppress women or whatever. Therefore, when women don't meet those beauty standards, they feel the weight more heavily than men do and look for relief in the form of social activism to try and change or eliminate those standards instead of doing the hard work to conform to them by losing weight. Makes sense. Third, fact activists understand intuitively that people are unlikely to be as sympathetic towards identities that are largely within an individual's control, like their body fat percentage, rather than immutable characteristics. So they have to try to shoehorn their oppression into a wider social justice fold to legitimize the cause, in addition to hitching their wagon to feminism. This is the same reason fat activists claim that fat phobia is the legacy of white supremacy. People effing strange these days. Everyone should become a hermit like me for their own sanity. I agree. How you doing, Bessie? I don't give this chick anything to drink. All the hurt. Oh, don't give this anything to drink. That's funny. All the hurt feelings would come out. Yes, they would. They would come out, unlike the food from her mouth. It would never be removed. Do not touch my cake. Do not touch my cake. Oh my God. It is so crazy. It is so crazy. I saw that and I'm like, wow. Now, now that we've gone into the fat shaming portion of our thing, let's go into the religious shaming portion of our stream. A pastor rolls out an AI version of himself for a modest fee. I'm fat, so watchable. You want to? I'm not fat, so watchable. I got some heft I need to get rid of. Just saying. When a church in Lucerne, Switzerland, rolled out an AI version of Jesus to hear confessions and offer spiritual, you've got to be kidding me! Someone did that spiritual advice. I thought that was pretty awful. I mean, I'm not even an end of times enthusiast, and I don't take Revelation literally, but even I thought we were getting pretty close to off the mark. Too close to mark of the beast territory, and I'm pretty laid back when it comes to I'm not sure what that word is. The something. While an AI pastor is not nearly as bad as an idea as AI Jesus, it's a concept whose time should never have come. In sane circles, it would be destined for the circular file of a dumpster that is already on fire. Be that as it may, Redemption World Outreach Center, or a megachurch in Greenville, South Carolina, is rolling out an AI version of its pastor, Ron Carpenter. According to Not the Bee, the church has so many members that Carpenter simply cannot find the time for one-on-one meetings with everyone, and it's available on an app for a mere $49 a month. I'm assuming the charges roll over to the next month unless you cancel the credit card. For your $49, you get to chat with AI Carpenter whenever it is convenient and access his 30 years of ministerial experience. There's no word on any in-app purchases or what data it gathers on the user. However, the robot pastor algorithm will store information about past conversations for potential use in future counseling sessions. Oh my God, these people are awesome. There's nothing like a bot that knows your personal secrets, inner pain, and spiritual struggles. For some system admin out there is going to have a field day with that one. And as a bonus, you can even submit prayer requests. That raises the issue of who is actually doing the praying. Is it the AI? How can you trust an AI with your prayers? Is it a Christian AI? Has it been baptized? Does it have testimony? Where did it go to seminary? What versions of the Bible does it use? Sure, the image on screen is Ron Carpenter. It's just his voice, but just who will remember of just who will the members of the congregation be talking to? Maybe some volunteer goes through the chats to find the requests and passes them along to real people. Now, it is a veritable cornucopia of church gossip waiting to be plundered, not to mention if this is an app, how long until CCP gets a hold of it? Oh my God, I got to see this.
Okay, I'd love to have my own personal pastor, so I hit the Ron Carpenter Ministries archive and I call Pastor Ron. And after I call Pastor Ron, let's say, you know what? Let's say I'm not feeling good in my body. Carpenter, how can I help? Pastor Ron, I'm not feeling well today. Could you pray for me? Hey there. I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Let's take a moment to pray together. Heavenly Father, I thank you that you know us and hear us. Right now, I lift up my friend to you. I ask for your healing touch to be upon. You'll know more about it? You have to wait. We'll tell you later.
Oh my God. Men don't banter. They do it to hide their own insecurities and make themselves feel superior in front of their peers, same as women do. Actually, men do banter. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Yeah. AI is not a relationship as God wishes to have with his creations. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I know I was a size 14 UK size and 10 stone, 3 pound. I had just been through chemo and rads and on. Came off 3 years ago. My weight shot up to 13 stone. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that happened to a friend of mine also. Once he lost a lot of weight and he was looking pretty frail. And 49 a month as a member of the Greek Orthodox Church, Greek Orthodox Church. I'm not even asking where is Martin Luther whenever we need him. I think we've got 96 theses for him to nail into a door somewhere. Selling indulgences is one thing. The church is well on its way to selling the whole enchilada. They could at least throw in a free version of Candy Crush or Words with Friends or something. The irony is that AI Jesus and the pastor bot came to us during a season in which we anticipate one of the greatest miracles the world has ever known. The miracle, of course, is God becoming human in the form of his only son to reconcile us to himself. And that's something you can't get from Mick Pastor or Jesus in a box. I'm the last person to tell anyone what to believe, how to worship, or what church to attend, but I think I'm on fairly solid ground with this advice. If your church is charging you $40 a month to chat with an AI version of your pastor, it's probably time to find a new church, at least one with some real people. Just say it. And make sure they're not drinking Kool-Aid, just that would be one of my prerequisites of this is, don't drink the Kool-Aid. You'll be fine otherwise. I mean, but if you're going to drink some Kool-Aid, you might as well drink some of this Kool-Aid. Because Biden just gave California what it always wanted for Christmas. What exactly is it? Assisted self-deletion, medical deletion, or medical assistance in deletion, as our Canadian friends euphemistically called euthanasia, is all over the news again. Unfortunately, MAID now accounts for 1 in 20 deaths in Canada, according to a report last week. This week, the British Columbia family is suing the government after a 52-year-old man with chronic back pain after he used a day pass from the hospital to get himself deleted, despite subsequently expressing that he did not wish to proceed with the procedure and instead he wished to pursue other treatment. Ugh. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Despite Canada's terrible example, Great Britain is considering an assisted self-deletion law of its own. Nothing like MAID has come to the U.S., or at least not yet, but what is the U.S. federal government supposed to do when an entire state faces critical health issues and wants to die? If you're President-ish Joe Biden and the Democrat-run EPA, you give them sweet release of regulatory permission to slip quietly into oblivion. Let's call it paid political assistance in dying. In time-honored Democrat fashion, Biden is leaving plenty of parting gifts on his way out the door for the Trump administration to clean up starting on January 20th. One of those is an EPA waiver allowing California to barrel ahead with its own plan to outlaw the sale of gas and diesel-powered cars and light trucks by 2035. To get there, the EPA will also allow the state to mandate that 35% of those sales be zero emission by 2026. It's barely a year from now, and in 2024, EVs were about 25% of new vehicle sales in California. They have until 2026 to increase that by about 40% to hit the new mandate. Listening? California's grid can't handle the current strain. It has 10 years to account for 100% EV new car sales and no plans to do so. Last year, California imported just over 30% of its electricity from other states. Every time a Californian buys a new EV, an energy producer in Arizona or Nevada smiles. It would take someone with a shrunken black little heart to tell Californians that they aren't reducing their carbon footprint. They're just exporting it to other states. And well, I guess I have a shrunken little black heart. Good morning, Rosalind. How are you doing? The Roz. There's good news buried deep in the Fox News write-up, however. Did I say that? Oh, yeah. In the Fox News write-up, however, on second thought, let me reword that. There's sensible news in the report. It remains to be seen whether it's good. Soon-to-be White House Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt told Fox News on Wednesday, fresh off importing his insane job-killing electric vehicle mandate to the federal level, crooked Joe Biden is preparing to slaughter the remnants of U.S. auto industry by approving California's waiver request outlawing the sale of all gasoline-powered automobiles. But that doesn't mean you can't purchase it in another state. It just means that you can't purchase it in California. Trump is considering rescinding California's EPA waiver, among many other Biden party gifts, to save the state from its desire to self-delete. If democracy is H.L. Mencken equipped, it is the theory that people should know what they want to deserve to get it good and hard, maybe Trump administration shouldn't stand in California's way. The people there seem committed to their all-electric clean energy future. If rolling brownouts or worse, massive eyesore wind farms, environmentally unsound solar panels are what they want, maybe that's what they should get. Unlike that poor man in BC, California should someday be revived. Just don't tell them that the defib paddles aren't solar powered. By the way, if you guys want to get more of the PJ Media news articles, they do have a 60% Christmas savings with a fight code. It's all caps fight, and you can get a 60% Christmas savings, which puts you, I think it's like $19 for a year or something like that. For this and other news organizations, I think there's a couple in there where you get like that free pass. It's a conglomerate of news information. And I want to say thank you, Megan Fox, for letting me know about that, because it was pretty damn good. So far, it's been pretty awesome. Oh my gosh. This is so crazy. I think it's that time that we need to grab a little bit more coffee. And I think no, I can't play that one yet because I'm not done with it yet. I'm still working on the dance song. It ran into some snags and I can't upload it. But I do have my regular morning break, so we're going to take a short break. Grab yourself some coffee, a biscuit, or whatever it is that you need to self-sustain, and I'll be right back.
Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive, where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dull night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, to inside jokes and endless memes. We talk and Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive, where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dull night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screens, and inside jokes and endless memes. In Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive, where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dull night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screens, to inside jokes and endless memes. We type our hearts, we stand the love. Our chat rooms like a lit up club. Oh, chat rooms like a lit up club. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. Ooh, yeah, we come together night and day. We laugh, we play in our own way. A family in a cyberspace, loving hearts in this virtual place. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream.
Oh yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Here we go. We've got Trump derangement syndrome meltdown of the week, and we're back, baby. Yes, we are so back. You just have no idea. This is the first installment of this column, and since the day before the election, I had planned on either winding it down or retiring it completely after Donald Trump once again became President-elect Donald Trump. It's not that I thought the media meltdowns would get better or stop. I've been at this for a while, and after all, I just felt like leaving the kids alone in a corner with their tears and snot bubbles for a while. Big snot bubbles. I've had so much fun doing this column since it launched in late 2023 that I don't think I'll give it up during the next 4 years because the left is so predictable. It's probably a safe bet today that it will become the Vance derangement syndrome meltdown of the week as we near the 2028 presidential election. We'll share the commie freakouts less frequently than during the election year, mostly because I plan on having too much fun after Trump gets back into office to want to spend as much time as I have been paying attention to the idiot propagandists in the mainstream media. Yeah, it's like been kind of my thing for over 20 years, but I feel like branching out. It says growth is important. The return to the TDS column was prompted by Michelle Goldenberg, one of the regular stable of opinion columnists at the New York Times. One of my colleagues think that Goldberg is the least awful of the bunch over there, but as I've found her cocooned coastal media bubble hot takes to be quite tedious. Goldberg has that angry college chick speaking too loudly about intersectionality in a coffee place vibe. One thing I do like about Goldberg is that she never wastes any time giving away the fact that she's a hack. That's always taken care of by the end of the second paragraph of every column that she writes via the New York Times. At a press conference at Mar-a-Lago on Monday, Donald Trump described recent visits from Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, Sergey Brin, co-founder of Google, and other tech barons in the first term. Everyone was fighting me, he said. In this term, everyone wants to be my friend. For once, he wasn't exaggerating. Since Trump won re-election this time with the popular vote, many of the most influential people in America seem to have lost any will to stand up to him as he goes about transforming America into a sort of authoritarian oligarchy he admires and call it the Great Capitulation. The authoritarian asshole thing again. Leftist op-ed writers fetishize a lack of originality. What follows is a weak excuse for Goldberg to repeat a litany of things that she doesn't like about Trump, probably for the 100,000th time. It's the kind of emotionally untethered drivel that was supposed to sway all of the rubes in the hitherlands to vote for the village idiot, Camel Toe Harris. The pre-election story was a boilerplate for the Times opinion section is walking out the door, but Michelle Goldberg is clinging to its ankle and begging it to not go. Goldberg doesn't know that her literally Hitler without saying Hitler shtick is sad because she hasn't wandered far enough outside of her bubble to meet people who voted for Trump this year. The coastal hacks are surrounded by people who keep telling them that they're on the right track because the only track that they know. Absent from Goldberg's caterwauling about Trump being a strong man who has bent former Democrat stalwarts to his will is any acknowledgement that it is the will of the American electorate that put Trump in this position. People like Goldberg are horrified by those who don't immediately buy into the progressive assumption that everyone wants to be like them. Head on to the other side of the Hudson River, Michelle. You won't have to go too far before you start running into a whole bunch of them. For a lawyer, but I'm losing YouTube friends because, well, Tammy, that would be something you have to take up with them. That would be something you have to take up with them. Do we have any idea why Biden was rushed back to D.C. last night? Have no idea. It could be any reason. Maybe he had something to sign like this. There's a possibility that that's what it was. There was something deep down that he had to sign. And what is it you say that he had to sign? He posthumously pardons John Wilkes Booth, Jeffrey Epstein, creator of Cop Rock. What? It's been obvious for the last 4 years that the only time that Joe Biden's heart was really into playing president was when the White House Dr. Feelgood cornered the market on Adderall and pumped up the old boy for a big event. It was like he was like a chimp who learned a few simple human tasks. If they gave him one thing to focus on, he could entertain everyone in the zoo for an hour. Biden has been less enthusiastic about President stuff since the election. To be more precise, his handlers are keeping him out of the public eye. This isn't because they're worried about him or embarrassed by what he might do. It's because they've got to keep him propped up inside in pardons for almost everyone except for Pontius Pilate. The Democrats might want to change their minds and release the Epstein list just so Biden can do Jeff a solid and posthumously pardon him and all of their friends who are on it. People who aren't insane know that the headline for this column is a joke. Well, kind of. The thing is, Democrats are so Looney Tunes that nothing they do surprises me anymore. It's almost impossible for me to be too absurd. The worry that any sarcastic, ridiculous remark of mine could become true if I put it out into the universe is something like, if Hillary Clinton is pulling the wings off a bat in her attic in Chappaqua, I wouldn't have a cause to worry about the bat population in her neighborhood. She does have permanently boiling cauldron in her attic, though. This clemency spree by Biden's handlers is returning some very unsavory characters back into the wild. This is what a post Rick wrote. A Maryland woman who deleted 2 of her husbands and her boyfriend for the insurance payouts is the recipient of Joe Biden's historic clemency executive action that saw 1,500 criminals have their sentences commuted, with 39 others pardoned outright. Friend of Miss Clinton's? It's easy to imagine people running Biden's brain coming up with reasons that he pardoned the people in the headline. John Wilkes Booth was a tortured artist whose actions at Ford Theater were taken out of context. Also, Republicans deserve bad things. Jeffrey Epstein reminds me of an older version of my boy Hunter, who doesn't like sniffing a little kid now and then. As the greatest Roman Catholic since St. Gregory the Great, according to the New York Times, I think Stephen Bocho should be forgiven for his cop rock he gave us NYPD Blue. After all, now, all you young girls out there, tell your parents the Catholic president wants you to get a deletion for Christmas. I'm probably going to be making fun of any of this, so please enjoy the memory from Cop Rock while I go burn some stage. Let's see what it is.
Item 7, November 29, 3 p.m. Conflict resolution seminar in this room. Attendance mandatory.
No, I'm not watching 3 minutes and a half of something that will probably get me some weird thing. Yeah. I do hope that that Biden is taken care of, but I doubt it, because Joker Biden insider claims that the president will burn the whole thing down. Here's a hypothetical. Let's pretend you've been working somewhere for a very long time, like many, many decades. You believe you're doing an excellent job. Sure, your supervisor might think otherwise, but that guy is a nitwit. And then after decades of loyal work, you're suddenly fired. How do you feel about your company now? Are you calm, reflective, and accepting? Well, I had a pretty good run. Let's be proud of it. And hopefully the new guy will be a big success. Thanks for the memories. See you later. And some people are really like that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, I'm not going to do it. Now, that's life. Of course, some sorts of people don't usually enter presidential politics. It takes a special brand of arrogance and ambition for you to decide that. Out of the 300 million people in our country, you are the one dude who should be in charge, and that is arrogance writ large. Egoless presidents don't exist. There are too many egoless executives either. And in this above scenario, most people wouldn't be content to shake their successor's hand and ride off into the sunset. That's just not consistent with human nature. Instead, you'd be pissed. Your supervisor doesn't know his ass from his elbow. Your successor is screwing everything up. The company has gone to hell. How dare they fire you? You might even harbor secret fantasies like launching a rival company, stealing all their good employees, and driving them into bankruptcy. Ha! That would serve them right. Haven't we seen that? If I'm not mistaken, what is it? Blue Ski is failing miserably and looks like they're tanking. Yeah, where everybody left X to go to Blue Ski, and it's tanking. Go figure. Go figure. The Daily Mail released an exclusive story today how vengeful Jill Biden is urging depressed Joe to burn the whole thing down in their final days with Obama, camel toe, Pelosi at the top of her naughty list. From the article, Jill views Democrats on Capitol Hill, the wider party, the Obamas, staff inside and outside the White House, the media, and all of Washington, D.C. as such misguided resentment that I can't imagine she isn't encouraging Joe to burn the whole thing down despite his better judgment, an insider said. Palace intrigue is always a little hit and miss, but what the Daily Mail is describing is matching what we're witnessing. Biden and Harris have gone AWOL. Call it quiet quitting, call it bitterness, call it whatever you want, but the Biden-Harris administration has so thoroughly abdicated its responsibilities that you have blue state Democrat governors begging for clarity because citizens are panicking over drone sightings. No, seriously, they're panicking over drone sightings. If Biden is busy with anything, it's spending all the political capital he has left to enrich his family and protect his kid. He was never going to let Hunter go to jail, and the inevitable Biden presidential library will surely cost hundreds of millions. Lots of loot needed to be raised. But at this point, the thin veneer of statesmanship has shredded. The pretense of nobility is gone. Joe Biden is human like us. He gets old, sick, tired, sad, and hungry. And ever since Donald Trump recaptured the White House, he's washed his hands of the whole damn thing. And we're on our own. And that's what we deserve for firing him. Oh, yeah, I won't show that either. I think I can show that. That's pretty damn true. That's pretty damn true.
And in their desperation, they turned to a man they didn't fully understand.
Yeah, that's usually what happens in these situations. People will turn to somebody they don't quite understand because they're desperate. Desperate times deserve desperate measures. Yeah. It's that. What is this article? Is remembering me of Debbie Webb. Oh, Michael Caine. Yeah, Michael Caine was awesome. I remember him in The Equalizer. You guys remember that? It seems like he's been this age for damn ever. Who was it that was the Equalizer? I thought it was him. He was not the Equalizer. Who was it? Damn. Now I'm wondering. It was Edward Woodward. It was Edward Woodward. Is that right? I think you're right. Edward Woodward. Okay. I always get those two confused. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
We never met anyone who traded with him or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
That is so true. Yeah, Bale Batman was pretty good. And yeah. Knight Rider. Yeah, that's the other one. Knight Rider. He was really good in Knight Rider. Yeah. I remember growing up watching Knight Rider. What a garbage car, but what a fun show. David Hasselhoff. Joe Biden will never forgive the Democrat Party for dumping him from the ticket, and he'll never forgive the American people for handing the keys back to Donald Trump. As far as he's concerned, we're going to get what we deserve, and maybe after everything is charred, broken down mess, and the world's on fire, we'll realize how wonderful we had it when good old Joe was in charge. In the process, Joe became the Joker. Yeah, that is pretty true because people are still questioning, like, why the hell is Joe Biden still president? Seems like every writer and their dog has already published their take on Wall Street Journal's bombshell report on presidential Joe Biden's decline, but seemingly lost in the hubbub over the White House cover-up is one big question. Why the hell didn't they ditch Joe Biden 2 or 3 years ago? The obvious answer is that the replacement would have been camel toe. who my friend Stephen Cruzier and I have joked on many occasions got the Veep nod from Biden as an insurance policy against getting 25th out of the office. But given what we know that they knew about the rapidity and depth of Biden's decline, what would have been the harm if the Obama cabal and replacing one malleable figurehead with another? Palace intrigue aside, let me show you a couple of items from Wall Street Journal report that PJ Media's own Matt Margolis didn't get into on his excellent write-up earlier today. Matt covered how the White House protected Biden and tried to hide his decline from the press and even Democrat donors. But to me, the worst part of the scandal is how they protected Biden from facts. Former administration officials said it often didn't seem like Biden had his finger on the pulse, the Journal reported. The story also indicated that Biden didn't see polls showing him losing to Donald Trump, and that Senator Chuck Schumer demanded to speak to Biden directly. Something became less frequent as advisors took more control, hoping to pierce what the senator saw as a well-erected senior advisor, Donald to speak to shield Biden from bad information. The Journal also reported that many of those who criticized Biden's unsultry said his system nonetheless kept his agenda on track. They did? How would they know that Biden's agenda was when they shielded him from bad news? Joe Manchin, who quit the Democrat Party earlier this year, explained how it worked. Manchin noted that Biden's staff played a much bigger role driving his agenda than he had experienced in other administrations. Manchin referred to them as the Eager Beavers, a group that included then White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain. They were going, I'll take care of that, Manchin said. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Biden is a man who learns from his mistakes. My word as a Biden, I don't make mistakes, Jack, and corrects course. We have Biden's 5 decades of nefarious public service that say otherwise. Biden's approval catered after the deadly 2021 Afghanistan pullout that left 13 American service members just gone, and a nation back in the grip of the Taliban. The optics couldn't have been worse, but the Wall Street Journal reported that one Democrat implored the White House to set expectations accordingly. With Pele, Melendez, Ball, footballers, and still in concentration camp, French resistance, free them. I can't remember. While it isn't uncommon for politicians to want more time with the president than they get, some Democrats felt Biden was unusually hard to reach. That's what Representative Adam Smith of Washington found when he tried to share his concerns with the president ahead of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. Smith, a Democrat who then chaired the powerful House Armed Services Committee, was alarmed by what he viewed as overly optimistic comments from Biden as the administration assembled plans for the operation. I was begging them to set expectations low, said Smith, who had worked extensively on the issue and harbored concerns about how the withdrawal might go. He sought to talk to Biden directly to share his insights about the region, but couldn't get on the phone with him. And Smith is what Smith had said. A sharper Biden would have done anything differently in Afghanistan. Our 13 dead would still be dead, but he would have played it better politically, which sadly is all that counts these days. Afghanistan proved to be the first nail in the coffin of his reelection. At the White House, the press corps, all of them, they ruined their reputations to protect a man who was already known as a serial fabulist and whom they could have ditched long before July 21st, 2024. The moral case to remove Biden from office was, well, unimpeachable, but the political case to remove him, this sundowner is going to be the end of us all, was even stronger. For a White House that thrives on the most Machiavellian politics, to commit political suicide is almost unimaginable, yet it still happened. That it did. And we have this. Hey there, Miss Tammy. Hope it's all well with you too. Tracy Spencer, not howdy. Not howdy. Can we show that like button some love, please? Yeah, show it a little bit of love. Give it a little bit of rub down. And if you're going to give something a little bit of rub down, we'll just have to give you a dance song to make you happy, cheerful again. That's what we need. We need a little dance. Oh yeah.
Well, looks like I'm living rent free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown up here? Oh, right, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah.
You like that? Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, got to throw that in there just to put a smile back on your face again. I mean, how does that not put a smile on your face? As the sun begins to set on the 118th Congress, our leaders are preparing to pass a bloated, out of control spending bill in the form of continuing resolution crafted by Senate Majority Leader of now Chuck Schumer. As you might imagine, the CR is a gift to Democrats, special interests, and other DC swamp creatures, the product of a sad party looking to squeeze out a win for itself on the way out the door. As Schumer product of course, flies in the face of the American people's clear mandate delivered unmistakably in November to drain the swamp and restore fiscal discipline under new president with control of both houses of Congress. As such, no Republican should stand for it, demanding that this lame duck Congress respect sand mandates by passing only a lean, no-frills spending bill. Schumer's CR is a celebration of everything voters rejected: bloated budgets, reckless spending, and giveaways to the worst elements of Washington. It hands billions overseas, including even more funding for Ukraine, while ignoring the crises America faces at home. It locks in bad policies that do nothing to fix our broken border or tackle inflation, and so forth. I haven't even gotten to the shadiest part. This CR would be a major win for Big Pharma, and probably the last win that industry will be enjoying for quite a while. Despite the American people's demands for reforms to lower drug prices and hold the healthcare industry accountable, this bill allows Big Pharma to maintain its iron grip on Medicare and healthcare policy by failing to address the failures of Medicare Part D. The CR prioritizes Big Pharma's profits over the well-being of American patients. This is another example of how Schumer and his allies in the swamp are working to preserve a corrupt status quo at the expense of you and I, the taxpayers. This lame duck Congress has no business tying the hands of the incoming Republican majority. Kicking the can down the road with a bloated spending bill disrespects the election results and undermines the mandate of the American people. The stakes could not be higher. By locking in massive spending increases and bad policies now, Republicans would lose the leverage they need in 2025 to properly clean up the Biden-era mess. Schumer's plan is obvious: pass as much of the Democrats' agenda as possible before the Republican majority can take control. If Republicans allow this, they'll find themselves unable to tackle critical issues like border security, fiscal responsibility, and healthcare reform from the get-go when it matters the most. If the government shuts down, does anyone care? Yeah, you should. You should care if the government shuts down, because they're still getting paid whether they're or not. And then if they're not getting paid, those government workers, whenever they come back to work, get caught up with it. It's not like the pay stops. No, it just that money just keeps on churning. The solution is clear. Congress must pass a skinny CR that does the bare minimum to keep the government running while preserving the new Congress and president's leverage to address these issues their way in 2025. A clean slate is critical to advancing Donald Trump's agenda and tackling the disastrous policies that Biden and the Democrats have left behind. Anything less would tie the hands of the incoming Congress and undermine the very promises that brought Republicans to power. Now, for Republicans, the political consequences of supporting the CR could be devastating. The base is watching. It's certainly not in the mood for nonsense, nor the incoming Trump team. Voters didn't vote to return Donald Trump to White House to deliver a Republican majority so they could continue the same swamp-feeding policies that have plagued Washington for decades. Instead, the voters spoke loud and clear in 2024. They want a government that is accountable, fiscally responsible, and focus on real solutions, not more giveaways to big pharma and the swamp. Congress, Republican members in particular, must honor that mandate by rejecting Schumer's disastrous CR and pass a responsible spending bill. Yeah. It's not about the money, it's about them not being able to do anything. Exactly. Our government at Stormnut shut down for 3 years on full pay over religion, as leading party was Catholicism, and Protestantism didn't like it. Sorry to hear that, Margaret. That's awful. Good morning, Wickedly. Well, Storm, notice this shutdown. I thought it would be clear. Yeah, true. And I didn't hear about this, but it looks like the world's shortest boycott ends in DC area anti-Trump waitress fired for discrimination. A certain Washington, D.C. waitstaff pledged to refuse service and cause other inconveniences for members of the incoming Trump administration last week. My first thought was fire them all, every single one of them. That's a silly idea, of course. Local restaurants couldn't fire that much staff without major disruptions, even for the customers they do like. I just like to vent my ID before I sit down and actually think through a problem. You just have to fire a few, was my second thought, maybe just one. The story probably wouldn't have gone anywhere had it not been for Democrats sympathetic to displays of incivility towards conservatives. Zach Hoffman, manager at the New National Democrat Club, said, "You expect the masses to just ignore RFK eating a lay diplomat on Sunday morning after a few mimosas and not to throw a drink in his face." That quote and others is from PJ Media's own Robert Spencer's full story about the boycott, in case you missed it. It didn't take long for that maybe just one waiter to get fired. While the boycott story broke late Thursday, the New York Post reported Saturday night and that a DC area server was fired after she spoke out about possibly refusing service to incoming Trump administration officials. That ought to turn service normal citywide. What they said was, "I would personally refuse to serve any person in office who I know as being a sex trafficker or trying to deport millions of people." Susan Van Rooy, a server at Bouchon's Saloon on Capitol Hill, told Washington's this week, "It's not, oh, we hate Republicans. It's this person has moral convictions that are strongly opposed to mine, and I don't feel comfortable serving them." Boucher's Saloon told Fox News Digital that Van Rooy's remarks were reprehensible and she had been fired for violating her zero tolerance policy on discrimination. Well, good, but talk about ingratitude. I think my tip average from Republicans, at least ones that I or a coworker has recognized, is close to 30%. With Dems, I'm surprised if it's even over 20. A DC bartender named Joseph told Fox News. Joseph also said that he gives the same service to everyone. Donald Trump promised on the campaign trail earlier this year to stop taxing waitstaff tips, and it was such a popular idea that Camel Toe even tried to steal that idea. Tips are small gifts, after all, so they probably shouldn't be taxed. It was also one of those great populist wedge issues that Trump plays so well, putting the struggling waitresses against the mighty IRS that Joe Biden had fortified with $86 billion. Specifically to go after things like wait staff tips and Etsy side gigs. Yeah, maybe Trump should just say, screw all that. But here's the thing, screw all that is a natural first response to the kind of self-destructive, petty vindictiveness briefly on display in Washington. It would also be the wrong thing to do. Remember, don't let those ID-based first reactions rule your thinking. When Trump said he would eliminate taxes on tips for restaurant workers, hospitality workers, and anyone else relying on tips, he didn't add, but only if you vote for me and you're nice to my people. Not taxing tips is the right thing to do, regardless of party affiliation, color, creed, or any of the other perfectly human attributes that the progressive use to turn us against one another. Whether to tip, that's a completely different question. If someone delayed my entree by 20 minutes, as a DC bartender threatened to do, just because I'm a conservative, they won't be getting much. only tangentially related, but as many mistakes as I'm sure I've made as a dad. Teaching my son's restaurant civility is one thing I know I got right. I don't mean which fork to use, when or what to do with your napkin, when to have them, when to momentarily leave the table. That stuff my wife and I taught them at home. I mean, how to engage the entire staff with the same friendly courtesy as you expect them to treat you. How to be flirty with the waitresses, friendly without actually flirting, creepy for a married man like me, particularly at my age, and yes, appropriate tipping. Guess what? With very few exceptions, we can always get great service, and my wife and I have almost, but only almost, become injured to all compliments the staff gave us about our kids. I don't know if either of my sons ages 8 and 14 will ever wait tables, but if they do, I bet they'll get good tips from Republicans and Democrats. Elf shoes and a hoodie. I want to think Shizzy and the whole crew. The camaraderie will make my winter not so long. I live alone; it gets long. The laughter and visit and chat. Well, thank you, Denise. You are welcome. Unfortunately, I won't be here for the whole Christmas holidays, but I will have the whole 12 days of Christmas coming out nightly, and I may have to rework the last one. It seems a little rushed to me. I was listening to it last night. I was like, man, that just seems rushed. I may have to go back in and re-edit. Male. Oh, I thought you said male topless dancing, but now I understand. Make topless dancing great again. Oh, yeah, that's funny. That's quite damn funny. Oh, I think there's one thing here. Let me see if I've got it. I want to see if it's actually here or not. Got it. That is interesting. It is. Oh man, that makes me a little sad. It makes me a little sad. This is something I saw yesterday that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and I think that a lot of people tend to forget this aspect of things, and I'm going to share this with you. It's pretty cool.
I would love to be a stay-at-home mom. I would love to be a homemaker and a wife. I would love to be able to live on a homestead and go milk my cow and take the eggs out of the chicken coop and have one baby in the belly and on my hip and another toddler coming behind me. That's like my dream, but I can't fucking do that because the way the economy is set up is I'm forced to work. I'm forced to get an education, a higher education, a college degree in order to make enough money that I can be financially independent and afford my own home or my own rent or my own gas or my own groceries, my own insurance. And it's extremely difficult to do that. And it's very isolating as a woman when you have to do all of that all on your own, and you can't find somebody that you can outsource some of those chores and financial responsibilities like you would with a spouse. So no, being a single working woman absolutely sucks. It's the worst thing ever. I hate it. I would go back to the 1950s in a second just so I wouldn't have to deal with this shit.
You're talking about a traditional nuclear family where the woman doesn't work in a married household with kids.
And statistically, that was the case.
You're a single woman who isn't married with kids yet.
So I'm for because of the way it is. Most women were married by the age of 21 up until the 1970s.
I think it's a woman's choice. Before that, it was societally encouraged to marry young.
Yeah. And it was better for women mental health wise, long term, to be able to go into that long term committed relationship and have the established family instead of being forced to slave away for a corporation that doesn't like you, doesn't care about you, makes you sit under fluorescent lights for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. You get a lunch break, you get health insurance, but do you have somebody who loves you staring?
Now you know what men go through. Now you understand what men feel every day.
At you every day like your child? No, it's horrible.
Pretty damn impressive. She sort of hit the nail on the head there, I think. Which I was like, wow. She really hit it. She really hit it. And I think I want to add this into my this song, this dance into my music here. I'm gonna have to show it to you because I think this is gonna be it's gonna be added in there. And let me show it to you. Here we go. Nope, that's wrong. Nope, that's wrong. It's this one here. This music.
Well, looks like I'm living rent free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown up here? Oh, right, it's me, let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am.
I think that needs to be added in there, don't you? I think that one needs to be added in there. I need to keep those dance things for the morning. That is awesome. I was like, I definitely need to have that one in there. I love it. We need more of that. We need more of that kind of feeling there. Ah. Speaking of dancing, hey, how's it going, Captain Kern? Good to see you. Good morning. Oh yes, need that guy in there. Yep, that for sure, most definitely. But we have the morning briefing. I can't wait for Tom Homan's day one. Happy Friday, dear Cruiser Morning Brief friends. Tim Wick became an instant favorite at the Jasmine Guy Appreciation Society socials with his spam butter truffle nachos. That sounds gross. Regular readers here know that the border nightmare was my overwhelming top issue in 2024 presidential election. Well, not just mine, of course. It's just that I'm feeling a lifelong resident of border states, and Joe Biden's mess literally hits close to home. It's for this reason that the member of President-elect Donald Trump's next administration I'm most eager to see to get to work is Tom Homan. It will be a real treat to have a border czar who won't be shying away from the title later on. Homan is prepping for the role with gusto, making it clear in no uncertain terms how he plans to go about his business. And this is from a post Catherine wrote about the incoming Trump administration's plans to end birthright citizenship. Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, was even more hardline and adamant in recent comments to CNN. We're going to arrest you, he warned illegal alien parents using anchor babies to shield themselves from deportation. There's never any evacuation on Homan's part when anyone in the media presses him on how he and Trump are going to start reversing Biden's insane policies. It's a lot of fun watching interviewers continually offer things that they think are obstacles, only to have Homan smack down. They're all finding out that the era of resting on mindless Dem talking points is over, as we're about to see here. By the way, this person here is going to be I'll draw a little circle around so you can see. This clown right here is going to be working. She is becoming New York's or the DC's. She's going to be in the briefing room. Yeah, that's where her plans are to be. But listen to this reaction from Tom Homan on this.
So how many days after Trump is sworn in before this effort to carry out the mass deportations begins? I know you said it starts on day one, but after how many days will we actually start to see that happening?
Day one. Day one will be ICE officers across the country will be out on the streets. Right out of the gate, President has made it clear, and I've made it clear, the priority right out of the gate is public safety threats and national security threats. And there's plenty of them to find, right? I looked at the data under the Biden administration. The deportation of criminal aliens have decreased 74%. So we have all those folks that the Biden administration failed to deport, plus you got this over 10 million encounters on the southern border that came across. We got a lot of them to look for too. So the public safety threats are plenty, and it's going to keep us busy.
Yeah, he wasn't joking whenever he said day one. My favorite part of the transition drama featuring Homan has been his response to Democrat governors and sanctuary city mayors who stomped their feet and sworn that they will fight Trump's administration at every turn when it starts enforcing immigration laws. His own commie governor, Katie Hobbs, has been one of the loudest voices, and this is something that she wrote at his town hall colleague Sarah Arnold wrote yesterday. Hobbs said that she would not be participating in misguided efforts facilitated by the incoming Trump administration, arguing that the resources used to secure the border would divert law enforcement attention away from the work that they do every day to keep our communities safe. Hobbs also echoed Democrats' claim that Trump's immigration policies tear families apart, defiantly saying that would not happen on her watch. Hobbs' position is much better than you could ever imagine. But before I do that, I've got to do this. Oh, fine, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm now on my third cup of coffee, so I'm good to go.
Third cup. I love it.
Dude, America is already turning around so well that we are back to the pre-virus level of insanity when it comes to Christmas shopping.
Are we now?
Dude, I went out Christmas shopping yesterday, and I started early, just trying to finish everything up. And as the day went on, it got worse and worse and worse. The traffic got worse. The people got worse. We're back, baby.
Yes, I know.
I'm like, there's people at work, but for some reason, there's all these people out here, and you've all lost your damn minds.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get finished.
Well, and I do a lot of building stuff, and I showed this to you yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but over the weekend. Because for those that are curious, this is what I put together for my wife for Christmas. Yeah, don't mind the leaves. I hadn't blown everything off. And
you're like a little elf
that you're seeing. Yeah, I'm more like you're a big elf.
Okay, you're like a big elf, but
I'm like, I drop a few 100 pounds, and I might be like a small elf, but more like elf on a shelf kind of thing, But yeah, this here is, in case you guys are wondering, this is what's called a joggling board. It rocks back and forth. As you can see, there's rockers on the end, but it also bounces in the middle, just a little bouncy there in the middle. And yes, that is what I did for my wife for Christmas. And yes, she knows about it, so it's not a big surprise. Because how are you going to hide something that's 12 feet long and 3 feet high?
You should have put a bow on it, Shizzy. Come on, make it festive.
I made it festive. I wore my Make America Great Christmas hat. I didn't like that too much.
Oh, I bet she loved that.
She didn't. I don't know. It's like, I hate you. Whenever I got that, because she saw it in the Amazon cart. She was like, "What in the hell is this?" I was like, "It's magic. Fun. Don't worry about it.
It's Christmas magic, baby. That's what
Christmas
it is.
Christmas magic." Oh, yeah. This shows me how dirty my windowsills are. Fuck, I need to clean those up. I'm just looking at it I'm like, I guess I could have probably cleaned up a little bit better. But no, I was finishing this off. And by the way, that is not black. That is Charleston green, which looks black.
It looks black though. When you sent me the picture, I thought it was black.
No, it's Charleston green, but it is so dark that it looks black. I mean, it really, even whenever I thin it out, it's almost like this gray. I'm like, what? How do they call this Charleston green?
I've never even heard of I've heard of a lot of different shades of colors. I've never heard of Charleston green.
Yeah, it's very specific, and it is very, 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 very dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this started out as a bunch of wood, and now it is a rocker. This started out as a tree at one point in time.
Once upon a time, this was a tree.
At one time, this is a tree. Now it's a piece of furniture. My wife has been asking for one forever. She was like, please, please, please. And I was like, all right, I will get you one. It's
So
I love
so
my wife.
What are you gonna do for Santa, honey?
Let's just say I might have been almost a little bit late this morning.
My man.
Yeah. But, of course, I had to make coffee, and it looks like a dark gray. I know it does, doesn't it? Looks like dark gray. Good morning, DJ Radis. Good morning, Debbie Webb. Ria Rodriguez. Oh, my. Oh, my. It is. Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting thing going on with this year. So Christmas shopping for you.
Oh, dude. It was insanity. It was like, I started out and hit up a couple stores first thing in the morning, like right when they
Buc-ee's,
opened.
of course, so you get your breakfast.
Dude, Buc-ee's is so far. It's so far. I'm like, no, if I'm driving through there, because there's basically, I'm right in the middle of two Buc-ee's.
Oh, nice.
But they're both like, at least an hour away or something. So, if I'm driving through or driving to a city in different parts of the state, then yeah, I'll hit it up. But no, I don't go out of I'm not expert. I don't go out of my way to go to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
I damn sure don't film it.
Just in case.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that makes for good content. I mean, especially if you're just like,
that's what I've heard. Well, he filmed it your style.
Oh yeah,
how you had the vertical filming going on. That's how I filmed it.
Oh man, I had so much fun on that drive too.
Oh yeah. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Oh, he's just driving back to Georgia. Okay,
that's it. That's all I was doing. I joked not. I was driving back to Georgia. I had 1,500 people watching.
Oh, I know. I saw it. I was like, God, he's getting good numbers.
Damn. And all I was doing is driving back to Georgia on my way back from was it South Carolina? No, it was from Florida. Driving on my way back to Florida. Driving a U-Haul.
Yep.
Nothing spectacular. And I was just talking with chat that I couldn't even read.
Just me. I think it's cool to be able to do that, but as far as like the format, it's so much harder to keep up with for chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're going to fix that part.
Yeah, well, what I need is like what I would love to have had is like some Google glasses or something that would have had the chat scrolling. I probably would have been able to keep up with it, but it would have been
man causes accident on the interstate while wearing Google glasses.
What the hell was he thinking? Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a fun drive back. I mean, what did I stream for? A couple hours maybe, I think.
That was a few. Yeah.
I stopped at Buc-ee's on the
way. I know. I remember.
I just left the stream going. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go grab something.
Go grab something to eat. Y'all wait here.
Stay in the car.
Stay
in the car. Exactly. Oh my God, that was definitely an interesting trip. Since then, I've gotten like I need that. It reminds me, I've got to find that because I may do some streams like that next week.
Yeah,
just randomly come popping up into a screen.
And there he is.
He just showed up. What's he doing? Well, he's walking along the ocean. What the hell? What the hell is he?
What? Bastard.
Yeah.
It's 30 degrees and he's out in the ocean.
Well, and it does really depend on what, because I talked with the wife about meeting up with Lauren, and I said, I'd like to meet up with her, go hang out, even if it's for an hour or two. And she was just like, yeah, as long as it doesn't interfere with family stuff.
Right.
You have my go ahead. So,
dude, that's what I've been doing. I've been laying low and just spending time with the family the past few nights. So I've avoided YouTube as much as I can.
Well, last night was insane. We had a good time.
Good.
Oh, yeah. I won't show the rat poozy video here.
So it finally got released.
Yes, the rat poozy video has been released. The only thing is whenever I uploaded it to YouTube, it automatically gave me like a yellow. It's like not suitable for advertisers. I'm like, all right, let's
You're
put
like, what? You haven't even seen it yet. Come on.
Well, and I played it like twice on video last night.
Yeah,
but I haven't done that today. But you know what I can do? I hadn't thought about this because I'm an idiot and I usually do this kind of thing. If you guys see video, oh yeah, give me a second. I'll let me see if I can do this real quick. And
Nancy, I want to go do that so bad because it's like this year I felt like it's been like a return to normalcy. Like there are more Christmas lights out in people's neighborhoods now than I've seen in years. It's kind of like everybody's like, well, everything's okay again. We can go back to, pre-2020.
The rat video. I think it might be the name of the video. I may have to change the name of it.
Probably.
If I change the name of it, that might be allowed because I think they might be thinking that I'm trying to like, call it the other lower nether regions. But I did put a new goal in there. That new goal is if I get at least five and above super chats in the next 45 minutes, I'll play the Rat Poozy video.
There you go. So you heard it. He's got to get at least 5 in order to release the video. Yeah, 45 minutes.
In 45 minutes. Five above 5. So anything above 5 will do it. It snowed there. Excellent, Celestial.
Oh,
it took
cool.
midnight ride. It was badass. So tired. It was so worth it though. Absolutely.
Nice.
Nothing like driving in the snow with that fresh snow on the ground.
I love it.
I do too. And I don't like the cold. I don't like snow, but I love driving through that first bit of snow and then get me the hell away from it because it turns to ice and slush.
See, I'm one of them redneck idiots that whenever it snows and it actually sticks, I like to get out in it and drive. It's fine at first because there's not that many people, they're scared and everything. But it's like as it progresses, kind of like my day yesterday, more and more people come out. And then that's when I'm like, I'm getting off the road.
Yeah.
Because people don't know how to drive in it.
So do you think I should bring people some tears to their eyes? I think I probably should.
Nothing wrong with a little emotion.
Okay. This is going to be very emotional. Just in case you don't get it. This is going to be very, very emotional. And Volstorm will understand this. Volstorm will understand this. And a lot of you men out here will completely understand this. And you'll feel the emotion, and this is one for all you ladies out there.
Hey, what are you doing? I came out to check on you.
Huh?
What are you doing? Thought you were working.
I'm looking at this.
What is it?
It's wire. It's a spool of wire, and I'm almost out of it. Can you see? Wire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost out of it.
Okay.
And I've had this spool of wire for like 40 years. I bought it like this it's not a piece of a long time ago, but it's like 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone. Does that make sense? This is what's left. that make
I'm
sense?
sorry to hear that, and I'm sad for you, but you're wearing your Jets hat, and I'm a little concerned right now that you're wearing your Jets hat. I thought that's why you were crying.
Okay, I'm done.
You just don't get it.
Yeah.
You just don't get it.
Just don't get it. It's like I give up. I give up. I was trying to say something nice. But there's also some, we have some, see, even Denise gets it. But this is if you want to see true talent, I've got some true talent for you right here. Right here. This is true talent.
Maybe that's like the next, what do you say, the Mardi Gras, right? Like the next move. Yeah. More of that. Hit the baseline with your left hand. I think you can definitely get just, tapping and add just with your wrist. Get some groove going. But really basic, yeah. And all of the 5 fingers are completely unused, so you can do stuff with them. I feel like it's all about just using the stuff that's left open, Yeah. So if I got the fingers left open, I feel like it's a groove now, yeah? But still, it's just using the wrist and the 2 fingers. If I use everything, it can be a bit more cool with it, I guess. Like, drums just... But I feel like I don't have the budget to travel with the whole band, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not at that point. I can bring a singer with me and stuff. I gotta manage, So now my right hand is still open. I can do... But the melody is here, So just one instrument, And if you combine it, get this.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive. That's like good finger control. Thank you so much, Maria, for the $1 super chat. You said so much by saying so little. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Oh yes, 40 years of memories in that wire. I know.
Sad.
Lost a 10mm socket I managed to keep for 10 years. Second worst day of my life. Well,
yeah.
After working on Hondas, I have lost many of those memories and sockets over the years.
many a 10mm.
Many a 10mm. 10mm and 8mm. Those were the common ones that I would lose. So anytime that I would see the truck come pulling in, I would order like 2 or 3 of them.
Can I have a full case of nothing but 10 and 8mm sockets? Thanks.
Well, they were so hard to get. Usually what I would do is I would just buy a whole bunch of cheap ones, because I knew that I would end up losing them. I had the really good one that I would keep stashed away whenever it was going to be a really difficult nut. It's like,
hear that, folks? When Chizzy was working on your car, he was using cheap tools.
Yeah. No, I did. I built a socket for removing the crank bolt on a Honda. Basically you take a 19mm and then you take a 20, I think it was a 36mm, and you set it over the top of it. So it sits out a little bit longer on the end, not too long, just a little bit further out. And then what you do is you weld the 34mm. Damn, we just lost power. It came back on though. Okay, power came back on.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, whew, that's scary.
I was like, wait a minute,
lose power again.
why'd your lights change?
Yeah, that's what happens whenever I lose power. I do have battery backup, so if power goes out for a long period of time, it will come back.
It'd be really cool if it changed to like red.
Ooh.
You know, like in the movies, whenever the power goes out.
Like that. Oh, I can make that happen. Watch this. It's still syncing up right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I can get it to change. It'll just take a minute for everything to sync back up throughout the entire house. Like the whole internet has to sync back up. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So weld that 35 millimeter onto it. And what it does is it increases the weight mass on it. So whenever you put it on impact, you can just hit that thing once and that bolt comes right out.
Nice.
It's like, yeah.
Nice.
I've seen a guy break one of those.
Ouch.
Yeah. Suck it, God. Spoke loud and clear. Yeah. Man, the amount of weird stuff that I've like tools that I've owned and I've only had to use like a few times. It's insane. It's insane. Like, especially when I worked on some BMWs. Oh yeah. Have you ever replaced a chain on a BMW timing chain? Yeah, you come up with some really weird.
See, I have a policy of not wanting cars that will require a lot of money to be able to fix them, as compared to stuff that's a little easier.
Well, true.
Because it's kind of like when you're buying a car, not only do you have to factor in the cost of the vehicle and the cost of the insurance, you also have to see in the future and, estimate the cost of maintenance.
Well, and that's why I'll never own something like Lamborghini or one of those supercars.
Yes.
I didn't know this, and I was a video I watched recently where this guy was talking about he was getting ready to do the maintenance on a supercar. I think it was like a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And he goes, every 5,000 miles, it cost me, I think it was something like $25,000 to do maintenance on it. Because you have to replace the tires, because you can't rotate the tires. You have to replace them because they're different size tires on it. The tires, the brakes, because you can't replace just the pads on it. You have to replace the rotors, the pads. Each one of those rotors costs like $3,000. Then you have to do the oil change on it, and to do the oil change, you almost have to drop the entire engine to do the oil change on it.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah. I can't remember the car he was talking about. And I'm just like, that's more than I paid for my car brand new. Okay. My car brand new. You're expecting, I would just rather buy a brand new car than do that.
Yeah. Cause
5,000 miles, buy a brand new car.
Yeah. Cause after about 10,000 miles, you can buy yourself a brand new, nice car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, let me see if I can find that video. It's absolutely hilarious. A service on a supercar. I remember seeing that. Let me see. Oh, it was there was one that was an F8. Oh yeah, here it is. $25,000 supercar cost. Here we go. I think this is the one. And let's see if I can share this tab instead. So this is it right here.
Yeah, it's a Lambo.
Welcome back to Adam Sarwatari Extreme. Let's take a look at running costs for the year 2019, and specifically on the SV. We need to use the SV as a model because on all the other cars, I do my own maintenance. So it's difficult for me to gauge what that cost actually is. But the SV is pretty simple because it's still under warranty. So I'm going to still send it back to Beverly Hills to have them service it. So if we take a look, starting with the registration for this year is going to be $3,253. I'm going to have an insurance cost of $3,148. And this needs a second annual service, which is $5,000. 80406, which brings us to the grand total of $12,205.06 just to have the car without anything on top of that.
Without any
That might seem kind of high, but we must keep in mind that the value of the SV is very high, so it's always relative. The more affordable vehicles have more affordable service. So let's take a look again at the registration. There's not a whole lot of ways to save money on registration unless you register in Montana. And I'm sure all of you are well familiar with what's going on with that. Well, the states are cracking down because they don't want to lose their money. If you're lucky enough to live somewhere like Texas, where my friend Mesa at Lamborghini Houston always advises me that they pay way less and it's a much better deal. But unfortunately, I'm based in California, potentially the worst state to be in for expense.
Right?
Insurance.
The worst state for taxes.
I'm sure all of you shop around, such as I do as well. But all of it seems to be fairly competitive.
Yeah,
I go with AAA because a lot of the shops I work with, if there is any damage, they always tell me AAA is one of their best companies to work with, so there's no delays in getting repairs done. Homeowners insurance, multiple vehicles, all these things generate discounts. So I've stayed with them. I've checked out other companies, but still the cost has been competitive. So something to look at, but I don't know, don't invest a lot. The original purchase price of the SV, there were some savings there that might translate to something that can help you. One huge benefit I got in the SV was it was purchased in 2017. At that time, you could still write off 100% of the state sales tax against your federal income tax.
Jesus.
So what did that get me?
Nice.
That got me a $50,000 write-off against my income.
A $50,000 write-off.
That definitely helps.
That's the tax.
The problem is that it ended in 2017. But I have heard some information that if Trump is not reelected in 2020, then many things could get rolled back, possibly that. So if you're looking at a car, it might be something to consider.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Now, I'm not.
You can tell this guy's a California commie. You can totally tell he is. But just by what he said.
Oh, yeah.
Just by what he said.
Well, if Trump doesn't get reelected, then they can roll back that. Yeah, that's not what happened at all. Jeez. My $50,000 tax write-off.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Lord. It is insane. Like, people don't realize how expensive it is to own one of these supercars, and they think, oh yeah, it's absolutely, no big deal.
No big deal.
It's like, yeah, I want to own a Lambo. Yeah.
What's like it makes me think of the posters they put out in the 80s where you'd have like a luxurious California home, and you'd have like a 5-car garage, and there were supercars in every bay, and it's then you become an adult, and you're like, damn, I gotta pay for that.
Nope. I saw this thing the other day. Those that want to talk about being Irish, have you ever seen this?
What?
Okay. This guy kicks it like hard.
Americans that think they're Irish. Americans that think they're Irish are definitely not Irish, but it's not their fault for getting mixed up. The tourism industry commissioned movies like The Quiet Man and Banshees of Inisherin to
Hey,
create
The Quiet Man
false
was a great
memory
movie.
in Bert from Wisconsin's Middle American consciousness, manipulating him into feeling a personal connection towards orange jumpers, shamrocks, and sheep. But on a positive note, we just found out that Ireland isn't actually in the UK. Ireland isn't actually in the UK. He just found out that Ireland isn't actually in the UK. In the modern world, Ireland has been platformed as a timeless, otherworldly tourist gaze, a playground for Americans to explore their Irish heritage in the land of 1,000 welcomes. It's the friendliest place in the world, as long as you're open carrying a credit card that you're willing to max out in the Leprechaun Museum.
And and I will tell you, because Diva had gone to Ireland.
Yeah.
If you don't eat by 6 p.m., you don't eat.
No.
Because they literally like roll up the streets at 6.
Yes.
Everything just shuts down.
Yeah. Well, and if it's anything like it was in London, whenever we were in London, and you walk by these shops and they've got, like, looks like basically like a Subway, something similar to that, where they've got all these sandwiches, and you walk in there, and at the end of the day, they shut the doors. They take all of that food and they give it out to the homeless, and they make it fresh the next day or throughout the day.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like they don't waste it. Like, I mean, if you go into Subway, you might be eating bread that's been there since the day before.
Right. Well, I know we would, when I, many years ago, when I worked at Pizza Hut, we would always box everything up in containers and send it to one of the shelters or something like that. Because we had to make our stuff fresh every day. So.
Oh yeah.
Of course, now it's all freeze dried. So.
No, you said that the Leprechaun Museum maxes out the credit card.
Hey, the Leprechaun Museum maxes out your card.
It does.
From Connecticut in the States, but my father's from Tyrone, so I'm Irish.
Okay. Americans that think they're Irish are so cute. They're a naive, hopeful species that think a random Irish person is going to lead them to a pot of gold. But in the current climate, they'd be lucky to find a pot to piss in. The gold is urine. On the global level, Ireland is being airbrushed into a place that transcends national identity, cleaning up the colonial wound in the hopes that it doesn't go gangrene before St. Patty's Day, when the busloads of Minnesota natives will come here and start looking for a place that sells green Guinness.
We're all Dutch and German. Yeah, the people from Minnesota are Dutch and German, and
tourists live action role play as Irish people, and they do a pretty successful job until they open their mouths and ask you for directions to the Book of Kelly's.
We know all about the fact that y'all aren't part of the UK.
Oh, you know that?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
we
good.
watched a Netflix special on it right before we came.
Oh, is that you found out from Netflix?
To get in touch with our Irish roots.
Americans that think they're Irish see Ireland as a blank canvas into which they can splurge their all-American seed, which is why as soon as they step off the plane, they waste no time in telling everyone about how great it is to be back in the motherland before...
It's killing me. Oh, woo-hoo, the toughest bar. Oh, did you all see Yamaha Story for Jeff? Yes, I saw that, Diane. That was really good. That was really good.
Or walking directly into a self-proclaimed Irish pub and handing over a tenner for a pint of watered down stout to celebrate.
Handing over a tenner for a pint of watered down stout.
I will say this: the Guinness in Ireland tastes completely different than the way it does in the States.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's completely different.
Yes.
Their 23andMe diagnosis of 3% Irish. Our bodies are made up of mostly water, but that doesn't mean we all get to be a bottle of Ballygown. Americans that think they're Irish claim to be pro-women. But
one other fun fact: there are hardly any redheads over there.
Yeah, very true.
Disappointing.
Yeah. He just
I was very
stout. Yeah.
I was very disappointed when I found out that fact. I was like, what?
What? Why would you do that?
Americans that think they're Irish claim to be pro-women, but as soon as they come to the Molly Malone statue, they instantly start touching her tits. Americans that think they're Irish are highly creative beings. They're
I would have.
That's awesome. They start touching her tits. I think I know this person. You might just. Oh, me Molly. You met a true Irish redhead, just run the other direction.
Exactly.
Oh.
By the parameters of reality. They refuse to let being born and raised in the USA get in the way of their imaginary Irishness. Therefore, Americans that think they're Irish come here to find a new national sense of self, because their current one is just guns, double glazed donuts, and Donald Trump. However,
God bless America.
God bless America. Oh, yes. Are they real?
However, Americans that think they're Irish swear they're different than all the other American tourists. They claim higher levels of Hibernian authenticity because they one time Googled the wolf towns and they know the O'Malley's from Cork. The O'Malley's from Cork who emigrated to Boston 200 years ago to become cops. I don't know them.
I don't know them. The guy kills me. Oh God. Oh, that was so much fun. Jameson's and Bailey's, you get chocolate milk. Oh man. Oh man.
Sorry, had to let the
what
dogs
is-
out.
Oh no, that's fine. What the hell is this?
It's the privilege of morning radio.
Oh God. Rosalind just sent me a video. Oh,
Rosalind, is this appropriate for morning?
it might not be. Why is
Let's
it
play
not-
it then.
Wait, give me a second. I'm trying to open it where there we go. But the only thing is I can't play that music. The music will probably get me in trouble. I just want to say, Rosalind, there's something wrong with you. There is seriously something wrong with you. But I'll give it some music just because, we have to. All right, here we go. Some music. Is it playing? No, it's not working.
Nope.
Here we go. All right. Oh, it's not working. Sorry. I have
It's
to
like,
start
I
it
hear the
over.
music.
All right.
Where's the video?
Well, looks like I'm living rent free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut, who's the grown up here?
Sweetest junk.
Oh, right, it's me, let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Don't need me lines like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy, Daddy, take your pick. I'm on.
That's yeah.
That's so disturbing. Oh.
No, it played that time.
It's like, good morning. It's like, please no.
Rosalind, it's too early for that, man.
Oh, dude, your full X timeline must be very interesting looking. Oh, you prefer cinnamon rolls, but they call them coffee buns. Well,
Nothing wrong with buns.
nothing wrong with coffee buns. Nothing wrong with coffee buns at all.
Eye bleach. Where's the eye bleach?
Is that Bubbles? No, Bubbles is not. No, Bubbles is not a very large man from what I understand. He's very small.
Tracy, how'd you get a video of my husband?
It's Rosalind.
Hey, he's working it.
Hey,
he is
at least
working it.
He's happy to be him. He's happy to be him.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little confidence.
No, absolutely not. Especially have a little bit of fun with it. Jeez, I mean,
now y'all want back in. Jeez.
Why not? Oh my gosh, this is going to be a really good day today. I have a feeling because after last night, oh my god. They lost their shit, dude. People have been losing their shit over Jeremy Hales. They really have. They've been just absolutely like, he is in their headspace right now. Dance like no one is watching. Exactly. And do it all the time.
Oh yeah. But apparently somebody was watching.
Watching what?
What's the dance like nobody was watching? Apparently somebody was watching him. They filmed it.
Yeah, like this one here. Oh yeah. This is a 2-minute clip, and I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna go and grab myself another cup of coffee. Be right back. Oh yeah.
Well, looks like I'm living rent free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown up here? Oh, right, it's me, let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your lines like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy, Daddy, take your pick. I'm owning your thoughts while you're still at sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you need. While you chase the crumbs and I take the lead. Living rent free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on the game. You said I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord, and you're just the tenant. Stuck in your headspace with no end in sight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm owning your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Popping much, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm the VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be while you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right. Spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your minds all along. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent free and you know it feels good.
I love it. It just is so awesome. I'm like, that guy is like completely shameless. He's just like, don't care.
Yeah.
Biker shorts, black socks.
Oh yeah, he's good to go.
He's living life to the fullest. Look, more buns. Oh my God. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh man. So you ready for Friday Night Live tonight?
Of course I'm ready
for it.
I'm always ready.
Today is your daughter's birthday. Well, congratulations to your daughter. That is wonderful. That it doesn't it make you feel good that you've got a daughter that's almost as old as you are?
I feel bad for the kids that are born close to Christmas.
Oh,
because it's like everything just gets jammed into one.
I have one that was born on what is it? I think it's New Year's or Christmas. One of my nephews.
Yeah.
Or either New Year's or Christmas. The other one was born on April Fool's Day.
That's awesome.
I was like, man, you know how to pick it, don't you, sis?
Jeez.
And I think, what is it? Tomorrow or the next day is LC's birthday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I think he said the 22nd, but of course I don't know what the 22nd is in Australia.
Right.
I'll have to come by and wish him a happy birthday. Yeah. And a happy birthday to your daughter, really. Yep. See, even Jenny says mine are older than me. So true. It's so true. We used to watch TV. I've taken that away from your husband. I play Megan Fast. He likes the chipmunk. 45 years? Dang. That may How were you having a child at 3 years old?
Is that your daughter or your sister?
Exactly.
Your older sister.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. You never know. I mean, I've seen moms out there that actually look younger than their daughters. 34, 36, and you're 27. See? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, there you go. I claim to be 27 and a half because Baker says he's 27, so I'm 27 and a half.
Yeah, you always have to be a little bit older than Baker.
Just slightly. Just slightly.
Oh, your youngest lad is 30 next month. Jeez. Yeah, I have a nephew that he's what, 37? I think that's right. Yeah, one of them's 37. He's getting up there in age. And I got a picture of me holding both those kids.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's still in the military.
Oh man,
hilarious picture too. Yeah, I think there were 7 and 5, I think, at the time. Like, so they were still pretty small.
Yeah,
I'm holding one in each arm, and now they're 6'2", and it's like, yeah, they can pick me up. Well, not my fat ass, but they could try.
Try.
They could try. Good luck with that. Your daughter is 48. Jeez. See, it's hard to believe. Oh, my half brother. I told him about that I was streaming. He was like, I'll have to watch that sometime.
Yeah.
I said, you're not gonna like it. Oh,
so well, it depends on the content that's out there.
Yes, age. Time is a social construct.
Yeah, time's not real. It's like Australia. It's not real.
Not real.
Or birds.
It does exist, and you can visit it, but it's just not real.
Nah.
Oh my gosh. So there is something that I saw that really caught my eye, and I wanted to share this with you and see what you think about it.
Okay.
The secrets of ABC News. Did they pay $15 million to hide something, or even worse?
Okay.
It was embarrassment and disgrace. ABC News not only paid $15 million to Donald Trump and an additional $1 million for his considerable attorney fees, but it was also forced to issue a formal apology on behalf of their biggest news star. But why? ABC News is owned by Disney. I did not know that.
Yes, they are.
The House of Mouse has deep pockets. Furthermore, Donald Trump is pushing 80 and in a high-stress job. He's had a pair of assassination attempts over the past year. You'd expect a company like Disney to drag out a defamation case. You know the drill. Type the course with every objection and delaying tactic imaginable and see if you push the case to 2030 or whatever. Hey, Disney can certainly afford the attorney fees. Besides, it's smart strategy. There's always an exceptions in American law, but more often than not, defamation is considered a personal tort. When the plaintiff dies, so does the case. So if you're ABC News, why not drag out the case and try to spare yourself the embarrassment? The answer is obvious. Paying $15 million, apologizing, and throwing Stephanopoulos under the bus was the best option available, which means the alternative must be worse.
Yeah. Yeah, because they strung out the whole thing with where DeSantis in the state of Florida was taking away their tax status.
Mm-hmm.
And they drug that out and then ended up getting their ass handed to them. So yeah, if they pay Trump that quick, there's something worse out there.
He's got something on him.
Yeah.
And it says that's what killed Fox News. Sure, paying $787.5 million to Dominion Voting Systems. That's right. I forgot about that. That was a bummer. But really kneecapped Fox News Channel was that Dominion's lawyers rifled through the texts, the emails, and private communication of Fox's biggest stars.
Yep.
It not only triggered an even greater PR nightmare, but it cost the network its top-rated star, Tucker Carlson.
Yes.
which he's done much better over on X.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would
He's done
say.
so much better since then.
Yeah, the millions of views that he gets off of just one, like it tops anything that Fox News was getting. The private conversations of other talent, including Sean Hannity, were also leaked, which I never really liked Sean Hannity anyway.
Yeah.
Even whenever he was a newscaster here in Atlanta, I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't really like this guy. He just, I don't know.
comes-
Something about him just stuck in my craw.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, Disney's lawyers did a deep dive on their own side. The standard legal protocol would be review all the internal documents to assess vulnerabilities. This would include business emails, personal messages, text, private jokes, anything that might reflect an intent to defame, which that's something that sort of ties into what's going on with the Hales thing that people aren't understanding.
Well, and here's the thing that I don't know if people remember. One of Disney's top executives is best friends with Camel Toe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, this ties in very closely with the Hale stuff, because all of these people that are thinking, oh, well, you have to prove it. That's coming.
Yeah.
And you can't hide. You can't hide this stuff because it will come out.
Right.
And he's
Well,
already said he's not settling.
Yeah, I mean it's that way with any court case. You know, they're not going to show you all the cards, but at the same time, you're not going to put something in court documents that you don't have proof of.
Right. And because he doesn't have to provide anything on his end except for what's caused him problems. And the judge has already said that they're signing an order that's going to protect his business. So any business contacts that he has, anything like that, is going to end up being protected. And
Okay.
if anybody goes, and now this is what Jeremy said, we're yet to see that. Now there's a possibility that order could come in anytime today, tomorrow. I mean, they could do it at the end of the day today.
Because I'm not just going to take anybody's word. I'm going to look at the actual court documents and see what that said.
But if that's true, his business interests get protected, which means that if Bubbles leaks any part of that to anyone,
it could be
and
sanctioned.
it gets out there,
Yeah.
that he will be sanctioned, and that right there could include jail time. And would probably automatically lose the case.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people need to realize, and it applies to both sides.
Yes, it does.
When you start playing around too much in a court setting, you can automatically lose your case over acting like an idiot.
Yep. And that would also go, and like I said, this also would include because most likely, and I will say this as a non-lawyer, most likely they're going to bring in every single text, every single message that Bubbles has put out there, every single thing, because they have the screen caps of it, and then they will start digging into his shit.
Yeah.
And he can't claim attorney-client privilege because he loses that whenever they're having to prove that this was a concerted effort whenever he becomes a member of the case.
All right.
And the magistrate isn't going to play at all. They will probably hold that.
Well, they've already showed that by the fact they had to redo the deposition.
Yeah. Yeah. And once they start digging into it, that's going to be, I'm telling you, the people that got involved in this and started crap and continuously say that they don't know what they're doing. They don't know. Yeah. It's going to get crazy over the next few months.
Yeah.
And I mean, a new year.
It's gonna be a wild 25, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be
wild, folks.
Well, and of course, back to the Disney thing, and that's why it sort of caught my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Undoubtedly, that's the key, because the legal standard for defamation for a public figure like Trump is different than it is for you and me. Well, mainly for you. I'm a big shot PJ media writer after all, but the point is far easier for private citizens to sue for defamation. Public figures need to prove actual malice instead of negligent behavior. Typically, actual malice requires intent. The other party knew they were wrong, but proceeded anyway. George Stephanopoulos isn't a lawyer, so why didn't Disney agree that poor innocent George was confused about his legal terms, or that he was using layman's definition instead of precise legalese? That plus delaying tactics would make far more sense for an enormous corporation like Disney than throwing in the towel, neutering Stephanopoulos, and eating a ton of crappy PR. Unless, of course, Trump's lawyers were going to find and leak something during the discovery process that would be even more costly. I'm sure they studied Fox News legal fallout, and obviously they value George Stephanopoulos. They spent a lot of time and money to build him up from a Clinton hack to the face of their news division. They rigged, and here's the network that was stridently anti-Trump. They rigged the presidential debate, fact-checking falsely only one side. They mistakenly released earlier election results showing that Camel Toe won Pennsylvania. They continue to promote anti-Trump diehards like Kimmel and the nags on The View, and they caved to a tune of $15 million on this defamation case, which is pretty low considering.
Yeah.
Whatever Disney was trying to hide, it must have been pretty bad enough to at least that paying $15 million and issuing a groveling apology was the better option. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? And we talked. Is Gosney in here?
Is he?
I don't know. Someone just said, "Hey, no." Someone said Goosey. Okay, so
Goosey. Oh,
Goosey bumps. I got you. Good to see you. I was like, Gosney's in here. I was like,
wait a minute.
I was like, I hadn't seen Gosney. It's been a month of Sundays. I mean, it's been a little while, ever since we did the reading of his book.
Yes,
that's the last time I've interacted with him.
I know. Well,
he's a busy man. He's a busy man.
Dude,
he actually
Gosney's got stuff to do, man. You know.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking to see here if we hit our. I don't think we did. I don't think we ever hit our goal. So you guys get spared the Rat Pussy song. Yeah, I think yeah. See, goal ended. We didn't get the Rat Pussy video, so you guys get spared. You get spared. Disney needs to come down with an axe on some of those folks. They can stop paying and lower park prices.
Disney's been in such a downfall over a lot of their politicizing of their shows, their everything. It's like, no, go back to what Disney does best. And it's just entertain people.
Yeah.
You don't have to get into I had read where they were going to, they had a TV series coming up and they were going to include we'll say a certain demographic as one of their characters. And they decided to drop it. And the statement that they made was, there are some topics we feel are best explained by parents. And it's like, you're just now realizing this. You went through all of that over the Florida bill, which said exactly that. And you're just now coming to this conclusion. It's because they know they were wrong.
Yeah. That is exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is, because they've been wrong on so many things. Instead of going for die hard on these policies, fucking entertain.
Just put out a good product. Make money. Can we get back to making money again? Can we get back to doing stuff to where we make money? Not everything needs to be and
politicized.
I love not everything needs to be a political artistic expression. It doesn't have to be. You can just put out something to entertain and make money.
But they're more worried about that social score, because that social score gets their movies put out to larger audiences in other countries.
Oh, for crying out loud. The American public has proved if you put out a good product, you're going to have all the publicity you want.
Yes. Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
you don't have to. And I've got no problem with having a social statement, but it doesn't have to be the main theme. And you don't
Right.
have to force it. It just comes out naturally, organically.
Right.
That social statement, it doesn't have to be the theme of it. Like, like unless you're trying to do it as a social statement, then do it as a whole social statement. I
Right.
mean, I think one of the best examples I can give of that is look at Michael Moore's bullshit documentaries.
Yes.
Those are intentionally making a social statement, and they do really well
Yeah.
because they you know exactly what you're walking into, and you're happy for it, and you're just like, okay, I'll choke this shit down because that's what I came to do. Now, you can have a movie like Star Wars, like the first Star Wars,
Right.
that made social statements, good, evil, all this kind of crap.
Yeah, but
But
that's I don't count that as a social statement.
but it was never in your face. The social statement was there, but it was organically done.
Right. I
You
mean, you're
know,
always
that-
going to have
that's-
good and evil.
Yes, exactly. But that's what we've missed out on. It's like it's like they've forced you to they've separated people, is I guess the best way of
Right.
putting it, by
Yeah.
making a social statement and making it the core of that particular movie.
Right.
And so you have to take a side. Well, I agree or I just don't agree. Stop. Was it a good movie?
Right.
Even if you don't agree with the social statement, was it a good movie? Can't remember a good movie, Disney movie for a while. Yeah, it's been a while
Yeah,
since we've
it's
seen
been a
any
while.
good Disney movies.
Used to, I was one of those that, especially during the summer, a movie would come out about every week and I was going to the theater and watching it. Now it's like I might go to the theater once a year.
I haven't.
It's just not my thing anymore.
My wife and I went to go see a movie not too long ago. It was something she wanted to see, and I was like, okay. And we went and saw it. No, it wasn't that good. I mean, even she was just like, it was okay. I mean,
You ever walked out of a movie, like paid
Yes.
full price and then walked out? Yeah.
yes, yeah. I've done that. I've done that a few times because it just wasn't good. I mean, it was a horribly written, or just horribly acted. Like it's happened multiple times.
Well, what I like to do is, like kids used to do back in the 80s and 90s. If it was that bad, I'd walk out and then go to another theater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I've done that before.
Like, I paid to get in here. I'm getting a movie. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they've cracked down on that where you can't do that as much as you used to.
Hell, they don't care.
I hope
You got a bunch of teenagers working it. They don't care.
Well, you always have that little, I was about to say something. I'm not going to say that. You always have that one that's heavily policed with jackboots in there. That is always a pain in the ass. No more banned film. Yeah, saw Bonhoeffer on your birthday. Only one in the movie. Yeah, here's the thing. And this is a perfect example. Like when The Matrix first came out,
right?
I was like, this looks really cool. I like the effects of it.
Yeah.
And so I went to go see the movie. And I joked, not opening night to see The Matrix, there
Mhm.
were 10 people in the theater.
Really?
10 people in the theater. That's how little interest people had in the movie. And I was like, and this was like an early show, because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll go and check it out. Like there was no waiting line. It was like, oh, you're going to see The Matrix. Oh, okay.
Right.
And I don't remember what else was playing. There was a bunch of blockbusters out that year. And so I went and saw The Matrix. I was completely blown away. Just
Oh, I loved
holy
it.
cow.
Yeah.
And so I went and grabbed my buddies because we all worked at a pizza joint. Go figure, bass player
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
pizza joint. And I grabbed them and I was like, I'm paying for the movie. Like this is such a good movie. I want to see it again because I missed so much.
Right.
We went back. There were maybe 20 people in the theater.
Seriously.
Dead serious. We watched it a second time. As soon as we finished, my buddies were like, we're buying you the next ticket. And I watched it 3 times in one night.
Nice.
And there was never more than 20 people in that theater.
See, that's interesting because I remember going in, the damn theater was packed.
It wasn't packed until we went back, I think about a week later, and it was you couldn't get a fucking seat. No.
Yeah.
It was nope. It was like crap. We had to get our tickets, and I think it was like a midnight matinee that we had.
Right.
It was crazy. Star Wars in 1977. Now, in 1977, I saw Star Wars at a drive-in theater, and it was
I miss those.
It was a double feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a double feature. It had God, what was the name of it? Bugsy Malone with Scott Baio and Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
I did not know forever what the name of that movie was because I just briefly remember it as a kid, because as soon as I saw Star Wars, I totally forgot about Bugsy Malone.
Well, of course.
I was like, holy cow. It was amazing. It blew me away. Sitting in a convertible 1969 Cougar. Just watching that on the big screen. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever compare to that. Can I imagine spending a minimum of $5,000 a day for court, let alone for a single one? Well, and that's if he's driving back and forth. But imagine what's going to happen with Bubbles whenever he has to fly in every single time, or drive in, or whatever the hell he's doing. You know, and it's only because of the shenanigans that's been caused.
And hey, somebody's paying for that.
Yeah. Somebody will be paying for
Somebody will be paying for that.
I mean, my suggestion would be maybe get a space on a piece of property there in Otter Creek, and I mean, you already got the hookup. You know, you can have an outdoor bathroom that you can use. You can call it roughing it.
Camping for cash.
It's more than just it's more than just your income. I mean, it is your income, but it's also your reputation.
Right. Because it's not just your income, it's what it's going to affect down the line that's going to prevent you from having more income.
Exactly. And to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, because having it happen over and over again, they're even moving out of the area, setting up business elsewhere, because they've just got such a crazy deal where it's like you can't do normal business. It's like I sit there and imagine you have to drive by this place multiple times a day because you have business. You're running a business. You have to go from place to place. Right. And you have to record everything that you do everywhere you go, because you don't know when this person is going to lose their shit and go after you.
Right. Yeah.
Imagine having that fear day in and day out. I mean, you take for granted this kind of stuff. You take for granted this kind of freedom that you have as just a normal person going about their day. Just imagine having somebody that's threatened you with firearms, threatened you with harm, threatened to attack you, take down your business, and you know that they're recording you all the time. They're waiting for you to make a mistake, not be looking over your shoulder. Imagine living with knowing that they're going to say that you did X, Y, and Z whenever you didn't. So you record every interaction that you could possibly have with them. That is not a way you want to be living.
Just makes me glad they didn't have camera phones when I was in college.
I'm telling you. Reputation is a big part of it. Plus, if idiots that like them win, you become low-hanging fruit for every scammer out there to take advantage. Mm-hmm. Well, and also they become more protective of themselves. They don't interact with people as much as they used to. Why? Because if they know that any interaction that they have could easily turn into another one of those moments. They just cut people off, which makes it difficult to run a business if you're having to cut people off from that business. I mean, I feel the pain. It's just like I cannot imagine having to deal with that. And then you've got a whole PR campaign against you. Like, just it just like does not sound fun. And it's a fear tactic that people are using. You know, that's the same way about this that I feel about the January 6th stuff. Is like they have sent a message that if you do anything that I don't like, I'm gonna bring you down. I'm gonna arrest you. You speak out, I'm gonna arrest you. They're doing the same thing in the UK. Whenever people, you tweeted something that I didn't like, now we're gonna send someone here to arrest you.
Yep, and that's why we had a constitution put in place when the country was started to prevent stuff like this, to prevent the government from coming and saying, well, you can't say that. It's the beauty of it.
Which brings me to my next short, and you're gonna I think people once they see this, they might agree this is good, and I saved it just for you, Volstorm. This is
okay.
Democracy is a form of government based upon the principle of majority rule, period. End of discussion. Now, that's not very complicated. Majority rule. It's easy to understand, easy to sell to the masses, and I might add, deadly. For example, what would you call a lynch mob? That's majority rule. There's only one dissenting vote, and he's at the end of the rope. Now, that's pure democracy in action. But wait a minute, you say. The majority should rule, yes, but not to the extent of destroying the rights of the minority. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are no longer describing a democracy. We are speaking of a republic. A republic is a limited democracy. It's a form of government based upon the principle of limited majority rule. Limited so that the minority, even a minority of one, can be protected against the whims and passions of the majority. And how do you protect the minority from the majority? You write down a set of rules on a piece of paper. You say, this we can do, that we cannot. At the top of the paper, you write the word Constitution. And then everyone agrees to follow the rules no matter what the temptation. And when you're finished, you've created a constitutional republic.
Every damn time.
I love that clip.
That clip is just it precisely what a lot of people have missed out on. Every time I hear someone say, we're a democracy. No,
we're not.
No. And Goosebumps says, absolutely. Yeah. Yep, they did the same in Canada with the trucker convoy. People were protesting by dancing in the street and setting up bouncy castles for the kids. They arrest them and call them occupiers.
And then they went in, and anybody that was a part of it, anybody that supported it, anybody that sent money to a GoFundMe to help support them, they froze their accounts and laughed about it. The Canadian government laughed about it.
Yep. That's not how you want to have, but that's okay. They'll soon be the 51st state of the United States.
Somebody referred to it the other day as Governor Trudeau.
Yes, that was Trump. He'll make a nice governor. No, that is the problem is and on the left and the right, they start calling these people criminals.
Yeah.
And they're not, but they're doing criminal behavior.
see, here's the thing that nobody understands. You want the other side to have an opinion. That way that it's the old saying of, it's best to keep your mouth shut and people think you're a fool than for you to open your mouth and prove it. I'd rather them come out and say what they're going to say because it shows how loony they are.
Exactly. Like
I don't want to silence them. Exactly. You're loony. You wear your Velcro. First of all, you're old. Second of all, you have to wear a helmet. And third of all, you have to wear Velcro shoes.
Yes.
You know, you're a nut job.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys see the letter to open letter to Bubbles last night?
I told you I didn't watch any YouTube. So.
Oh yeah, you'll have to see that one. That one's pretty good. Yamaha did it well.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
And of course I have more of those. There's Yamaha. Is that why people think I'm such an idiot? No, it's because you're hanging out with me.
you
That's
are
why
an
they
idiot.
think you're an idiot. that problem with eating crayons, I'm telling you, man.
Hey, that's what keeps him going, is eating the crayon.
Yeah, it has to keep someone going. Yes, Jam Canada is different. Oh my God, yeah, it's gonna be this is going to be a very interesting trial, and I will say that whenever it finally gets done, nobody's going to win except for the attorneys on this.
Yeah, that's what nobody understands. In the end, it's the attorneys that win.
Yeah. I mean, Jeremy might still win his case on it, but the attorneys are the ones that are going to win out on it.
Yeah.
Because do you think that they would do some sort of appeal if they do get a judgment against them?
No.
You don't think?
Well,
I don't think.
I mean, it would depend. It's so hard to find the merit to be able to get a basis for an appeal on stuff like this anyway, because a lot of people don't understand defamation is very hard to prove.
Yes.
I mean, that was the Johnny Depp case. That was a defamation case.
Mm-hmm.
Now he won, but he had an overwhelming amount of evidence to be able to convince a jury.
Right.
But in most cases, defamation is very hard to prove.
Yes, it is. It's a deterrent for future accusations. Yeah. That right there is a deterrent for future accusations. And there's been a lot of people out there accusing of all kinds of crap.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they say this with a conviction of we can prove it.
Well, you either have it or you don't.
Right. But, you know, just sort of like them proving their handwriting expert. You notice that hasn't been mentioned since. And Jeremy brought that up, but I said the same thing. I was like, you notice they haven't said anything about that handwriting expert.
Dear Lord.
You know, he's not, you know, in public opinion. I mean, I could sit there and talk about this shit all day long on a YouTube channel. That means absolutely nothing in a court case.
Absolutely.
Until they bring this handwriting expert in, it doesn't mean squat.
Yeah. I don't think he's welcome back in the state of Tennessee though, after reading all that stuff.
Oh boy. Oh boy. It's so crazy.
Like, wow. A lot of stuff has to do with Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let me see if this is what I think it is. It's nothing important. So I just saw something that was caught my eye. I was like, huh? What is this? It's like, is this going to be good or not? But yeah, so with that said, you might see a stream later on today. Maybe, I don't know. Just depends on how much I get done, because I've got a lot of shit to do today. Also, if there is some sort of thing that comes out in the Hales case, I might cover it. Like if there's some new filing. But other than that, I'm going to send you guys over to go, and all you have to do is hit the hit the thumbs up and put a notification on, because I'm going to send you guys over to see where the expert is going to be tonight. Yes. Dun, dun, dun. And with that, everybody, I want you to have a wonderful day. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way in and on the way out. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Early morning, rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Been in the heat.